Hello and welcome to class. My name is Ali Renzi, and today I'll be guiding you through a 45-minute restorative flow. To begin, please come onto your mat and lay down on your back with your knees bent and feet standing on the floor, gently lowering yourself down. Take a deep inhale in through the nose, filling up the belly, and exhale, letting it go. And as you exhale, feeling yourself settle into your mat. Inhaling through the nose to fill up the belly. And exhaling slowly through the nose, emptying out completely. Begin your diaphragmatic breath by inhaling into the belly, then into the rib cage, and then into the chest, and then exhaling slowly through the nose, letting it all go, pressing it out until you're completely empty. Filling up the belly, the rib cage, the chest, and then letting it go. Release control over your breath and watch as your body breathes to its own rhythm. And now shift your attention from your breath to your energetic state. How does it feel to be inside your body right now? And now shifting your attention again to the quality of your thoughts. You find yourself becoming attached, or are your thoughts simply passing like cars on the highway? On your next exhale, bring both knees into the chest, hugging them in close, and begin to rock side to side, massaging your low back into your mat. And on your next exhale, begin to rock up and down lengthwise along your spine. Until you rock up into a seated position, bringing both feet to the outside edge of your mat. Your hands plant like a kickstand behind you, fingers pointing towards your toes. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, and on your exhale, both knees fall to the left as the right hip lifts up off the mat. Inhale to center, exhaling to the right as the left hip lifts up. Inhale to center, exhale to the left as your right arm swoops out and around to point to the back of the room, wringing out your midsection, rotating through the spine. On your inhale, unraveling back to neutral. On your next exhale, both knees drop to the right as the left arm sweeps out and around to point towards the back of the room, wringing out the midsection like a wet face cloth. On your inhale, returning to neutral, exhaling to the left. Inhaling to center, allowing your breath to guide you, beginning to take this at your own pace. Each exhale, helping you rotate deeper. Each inhale, bringing you back to neutral. noticing how it feels to hold on one side for a little bit longer, or to begin to pick up the pace. Standing witness to your own experience. And taking a few more breaths to get equal on both sides. And then returning to center. Crossing your legs, coming into a seated position, grounding down through both sits bones. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, lifting your elbows and shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, relaxing your shoulders down your back and drawing your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, both arms sweep out to the sides, up and overhead. Exhale, the left hand drops down to the mat as your right arm reaches up and over, lengthening through the right side body. On your inhale, allowing yourself to pulse up halfway, and exhale, reaching to the left. Inhale, micro lift and pulse. Exhale and reach. Continuing pulsing with your own breath. Letting each inhale expand the intercostal muscles on the right side of your rib cage, creating space and length, releasing the hips, and then allowing your next inhale to draw you back through center with both arms up overhead. On your exhale, the right hand comes down to the mat as your left arm reaches up and over. Inhale to pulse up halfway, and exhale to lower. Keeping the navel drawn in and the shoulders stacked so your heart is open. Sending the breath into the left side body. Working on the flexibility of the spine. And again, anchoring your attention on the sensation in your body, on your own experience, standing witness. On your next inhale, allow it to draw you back up through center. And on your exhale, folding forward over the crossed legs. Shifting the weight of your torso from right knee to left knee. Working into your hips. Checking in with your breath. Trying to cultivate long, deep inhales and slow, complete exhales. On your next inhale, gripping your fingers into the mat, and on your exhale, rolling forward over your knees or kicking your legs around to come into tabletop position. Your palms are stacked directly underneath your shoulders, knees are stacked directly underneath your hips, belly button is drawn in towards the spine, and your back is long and flat. On your inhale, the tailbone turns up, the belly button drops, and the chin becomes parallel with the mat for cow. On your exhale, the tailbone turns down, middle back rounds, and chin drops to chest as you press the earth away. As you feel your inhale coming, the tailbone lifts and movement ripples throughout the body to drop the belly and lift the chin. Exhale, pressing the earth away. Allowing this to become a meditation as you move at your own pace. Turning your attention inward. Taking care of your spine. movement to always begin with the tailbone and ripple throughout the body. Allow your next exhale to bring you back to a flat back. Inhale to bring the right hand underneath the nose. Pausing here, waiting for your next inhale to lift your left arm open to the side of the room, opening your heart and chest. Exhale, the left hand threads through underneath the right chest, lowering the cheek or shoulder down onto the mat, rotating through the thoracic spine. Taking long, deep, full breaths, filling up the belly and exhaling completely. Letting each exhale rotate you deeper. On your next inhale, pressing your right hand into the mat, the left arm sweeps open to the left side. Exhale, the left hand comes down underneath your nose. Inhale, the right arm sweeps open to the right side. Exhale, threading the right arm underneath the left armpit, bringing the cheek to come and rest. With each inhale, lengthening through the spine, and each exhale, rotating deeper. On your next inhale, pressing the left hand into the mat to lift you up, sweeping the right arm, opening the chest. Exhale, bringing the right hand back down onto the mat. Inhale, toes curl under and fingertips press into the mat. Exhale, hips send back for downward facing dog. Begin to pedal out the feet by bending one knee and straightening the other. Creating some movement to work out the kinks. Fingertips are pressing into the mat to protect your wrists. A slight micro bend in the elbows. Shoulders are relaxed down the back towards the hips, and the armpits are hugging out and around towards your heart to protect your shoulders. The spine is long. If you need to bend your knees to keep it that way, please do so. The heels are reaching for your mat, stretching through the calves. On your inhale, the right leg sweeps up behind you in three-legged dog with both hips still square to the mat. On your exhale, drawing the foot through to step in between the hands, coming into a low lunge. Bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot and shift your torso and head forward, efforting forward about 2 inches. Begin to feel into the hamstring and groin of the right leg, playing with the positioning of your torso with height, keeping it up higher or lowering down onto your forearms. Whatever feels good for you here. Sending your breath into the groin and hamstring. And on your next exhale, gently lowering the left knee down onto the mat and untucking the toes. Bring your right hand to the outside of your right foot. And on your inhale, both arms sweep out in front to lift your chest into hip flexor stretch. Engaging the left glute, square your hips to the front of the mat and lengthen throughout the torso, reaching your fingertips up towards the clouds. Allow each exhale to relax you into the pose, sinking your hips a little more forward until you find your edge. And on your next exhale, begin to shift your hips back, straightening the right leg, and then bow forward, reaching the crown of your head towards the front of the mat. The toes are pulling back towards your face, and your knee is pulling back towards your right hip, creating a fist or tension in the right leg. Long, deep breaths, expanding your window of tolerance for discomfort, keeping a micro bend in the knee. Holding your attention on your breath, and if your mind wanders, gently guiding it back. On your inhale, walking your hands forward and shifting your weight to bend into your right knee. The arms sweep out in front, lifting your heart into hip flexor, engaging the left glute, and expanding your heart by sending your breath into your chest. On your next exhale, shift your weight back, straighten the right leg, and fold forward, reaching the crown of your head towards the front of the room, drawing the toes back. And if you'd like to, digging the right heel into your mat and then drawing the hip back to intensify the stretch. Inhaling, shifting your weight forward, planting both hands on either side of the right foot. The left toe tucks under and the left knee lifts up off the floor into low lunge. Pressing both hands into the mat, step your right foot back into high plank pose. Drawing the navel in, shift your weight forward 2 inches, lower down for chaturanga, and lift for upward facing dog. The tops of your feet are pressing into the mat, knees are lifted, heart is open, the crown of your head reaching up. Exhale, rolling over the toes, hips sun back for downward facing dog. Inhale, lifting the left leg up behind you into 3-legged dog, squaring the hips towards the mat. Exhale, drawing the left foot through to step in between the hands. The knee is stacked directly over the ankle. You're on the balls of your right toe. The right leg is engaged, and the crown of your head and your chest are reaching towards the front of the room. Bring the left hand to the inside of your left foot, and from here you can begin to play with the stretch as it feels best in your body, maybe lowering down onto your forearms or staying right where you are. On your next inhale, bring your left hand to the outside of your left foot and lower the right knee down onto the mat, gently untucking the toes. The arms sweep out in front to lift your heart. Exhale, sinking your hips forward towards the front of the mat and engaging the right glute. Inhale to reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Using this silence as an opportunity to turn inward. And on your exhale, begin to straighten the left leg, shifting your hips backwards and bowing forward over the left leg, reaching the crown of your head towards the front of your mat, drawing the left toes back towards your face and engaging the left leg. Dig the left heel into the mat and effort that left hip backwards to intensify the stretch. Allow each inhale to elongate your spine and each exhale to lower your torso closer to your knee. On your inhale, begin to shift your weight forward, bending into the left knee. Arms sweep out in front to lift the hands and heart. Exhale to sink your hips forward and engage the right glute for hip flexor stretch. And on your exhale, the left leg straightens, hips shift backwards as you fold forward over the left leg. Inhale, shift your weight forward, bending the left knee, hands plant on either side of the left foot. The right toes curl under and the right knee lifts up off the mat. On your exhale, step the left foot back into high plank pose, drawing the navel in. Shift your weight forward 2 inches, lower down for chaturanga, and lift up into upward facing dog. Exhale, hips send back for downward facing dog. Inhale, begin to tiptoe the feet up towards the hands, coming into a bent knee, forward fold. Reaching the crown of your head towards the floor, a slight bend in the knees so that your belly can press onto your quads. Feet are hip distance apart. Inhale to lift up into a flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale to lift into a flat back. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, arms sweep out to the side, standing up all the way. Exhale, hands draw down through heart center, coming into prayer pose. On your inhale, shift your weight onto your left foot. Exhale, lifting the right knee up to hip height and crossing the right ankle over the top of the left knee. Exhaling to sink your hips back, coming into a standing figure 4. You can either stay here. If you'd like a greater balance challenge, you can lift your hands up over your head. If you would like a greater stretch, you can fold forward over the knees and reach your hands to the floor, continuing to send your hips towards the back of the mat and efforting the right knee towards the ground. Notice what comes up for you in the silence. What are your patterns? How we are on our mat is often how we are in all other aspects of life. If you're folding forward, let your next inhale lift you back up. And on your exhale, press the left foot into the mat to come to standing and bring the right foot back down to the mat. On your exhale, shifting your weight to your right foot and lifting the left knee to hip height. Inhale to cross the left ankle over the right knee, sending the hips back for standing figure four. From here, taking any variation that feels good for you, whether it's arms up and out to the side, or it's folding forward over the knees. Remembering to continue shifting your hips backwards and pressing the left knee towards the mat. Protecting the left knee by flexing the left foot. And breathing. If you're folding forward, allow your next inhale to lift you back up, and then bringing your hands back to prayer pose in heart center. Your next inhale, pressing your right foot into the mat and stepping your left foot to come into standing. Inhale, both arms sweep out to the side, up and overhead. Exhale, hinging at the hips, swan dive forward. Inhale to lift into a flat back. Exhale, stepping back into high plank pose. From here, bending your elbows in towards your rib cage, lowering yourself all the way down onto your belly, untucking the toes, and shifting your weight side to side so your pubic bone makes contact with the mat. Your arms extend down by your sides with palms facing down at a 45-degree angle. Chin, mouth, or nose comes to rest on the mat. On your exhale, pressing your pubic bone down into the mat and lifting the head and chest off the mat, lengthening forward. The lengthening is just as important as the lifting to engage the back muscles, to open the chest. On your exhale, lowering yourself back down. Inhale to fill yourself up, and on your exhale, pressing the pubic bone down into the mat and lifting and lengthening through the crown of the head, the chest, and this time the feet. Lifting your toes, knees, and the top of your quads off the mat. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale to fill yourself up. Exhale to press your pubic bone down into the mat, lifting and lengthening through the head, the chest, the feet, the knees, and then the hands. Reaching your fingertips back towards your heels, opening your chest. The counter pose to sitting at your computer, to texting on your phone. Opening the chest, lengthening the spine, strengthening the back muscles. stimulating the vagus nerve all in one pose, holding for 4, for 3, 2, 1, and lowering yourself down onto the mat, making a pillow for your head with your hands, and turning to either side. Feet lift up off the ground. You can begin to windshield wiper from side to side, releasing your low back. Turning your head to the other side to balance out. Releasing your feet down onto the mat. Pressing your hands to lift your torso, spreading your knees wide, and allowing your toes to touch to press into child's pose. Sending your hips towards your heels and reaching your fingertips towards the front of the mat. Long, deep breaths. Allow your inhale to lift you back up into tabletop position. Toes curl under, hips send back for downward facing dog. Inhale to lift the right leg up in the air for 3-legged dog, hips are square. Exhale, drawing the right knee to the right wrist and lowering the leg down onto the mat, allowing the right heel to fall underneath the left hip flexor. Begin to inch the left leg back and check that your toes are in line with the rest of your leg. On your exhale, draw the right hip back and the left hip forward, creating a scissoring action, squaring your hips to the front of the mat. Inhale to press your fingertips into the mat and lengthen through your torso for Kapotasana, pigeon pose. On your exhale, begin to undulate forward, beginning with your belly button, your rib cage, and then your nose. And then lift up in that same order, belly button, rib cage, nose. Exhaling forward and inhaling to lift. Continuing to hold that scissoring action, drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward. And on your next exhale, lowering yourself all the way down, again making a pillow for your head with your arms and coming into stillness. Watch your mental reaction, emotional reaction as the sensation strengthens, intensifies. next inhale, begin to gently roll yourself onto your right side, propping yourself up with your right forearm, making it parallel to the short front edge of your mat, stacking your legs on top of one another. On your exhale, hugging the left knee into your chest. And on your exhale, drawing the left foot back behind you and kicking the left foot into the left hand. Playing with different levels of pressure, noticing how it changes the stretch. Exhale to hug the left knee into the chest. Inhale to draw the left leg back and kick. Exhale to hug the left knee into your chest. Inhale to draw the left knee back and kick. On your next exhale, lowering the left leg on top of the right, bringing your left hand underneath your chest and the right to lift you into tabletop position. Curling your toes under, hips and back for downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts up for three-legged dog, hips are square to the mat. Exhale, drawing the left knee to the left wrist, allowing the left heel to fall underneath the right hip flexor. Begin to inch the right foot back, keeping the toes in line with the rest of the leg. On your exhale, draw the left hip back and the right hip forward, creating a scissoring action. Inhale to press your fingertips into the mat, lengthening through the torso. Finding your pigeon pose. Noticing any differences between the two sides without judgment. Just an observation. And on your exhale, begin to undulate forward, beginning with your belly button, then your ribs, then your nose, and lifting back up in the same order. On your next exhale, lowering yourself all the way down onto the mat, making a pillow for your head with your forearms, and allowing yourself to find stillness. Notice if there's anything you can relax, maybe your hands, the space between your eyebrows, or your jaw. And sending the breath to the areas that need it most. mind has wandered, notice and gently guide it back to the present moment, to the sensation of your breath or any physical sensation. And on your inhale, slowly begin to roll over onto your left side, propping yourself up on your left forearm, stacking the legs on top of one another. Exhale to hug the right knee into your chest. Inhale to draw the right leg back behind you and kick the right foot into the right hand, keeping your knee in line with your hip to protect both joints. Exhale, hug the right knee into the chest. Inhale, draw the right leg back and kick your foot into your hand. Exhale to hug the knee into the chest. Inhale, draw the right foot back and kick. On your next exhale, lowering the right leg down onto the mat, pressing yourself into a seated position with your legs extended long down the mat, feet flexed up towards you. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, and on your exhale, gently tilting your pelvis forward and walking your hands out, allowing your back to gently round. If you feel any discomfort in your low back, gently backing up until you have no more pain or discomfort. If you can, reaching for your toes, grabbing on, keeping a gentle bend in the knees, and breathing here. On your next exhale, slowly beginning to walk your torso back up, and slowly, one vertebrae at a time, lowering yourself down into your final resting pose of Shavasana. If there's any final stretch that might feel good for you before then, feeling free to take it. Otherwise, allowing your arms to splay out to the side with palms facing up. Allow your feet to fall to the outside. Inhale to fill up your belly as full as it can get. Holding it at the top once you're as full as you can get. And then exhaling slowly and gently. Again, inhaling to fill up as full as you can get, and then holding it at the top for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1 before gently exhaling and letting it all go. If there's anything you can do to make yourself 5 or 10% more comfortable, taking the time to do that now. Starting at the top of your head, scanning down your body. And once your attention hits that point of your body, consciously sending a message of relaxation, relaxing the space between your eyebrows, allowing your eyeballs to sink into your head, allowing your cheeks and jaw to relax, allowing your shoulders to surrender to gravity, allowing your arms to let go of any efforting. Your hands are peeling open. Your chest releases and your heart relaxes. Allowing your torso the room and space to breathe. Allowing your hips and glutes to sink into the earth. Imagining every muscle fiber in your quads and hamstrings to release. Allowing your calves to soften. And allowing your feet to completely and totally relax. Imagine waves of safety and relaxation washing over you, cleansing you of stress and anxiety, washing it away. Begin to welcome movement back into your fingertips and toes, and allowing that movement to ripple throughout your body. Stretching your hands up over your head. And on your exhale, bringing your hands down to your face, starting in between your eyebrows. And pressing from the inside of your eyebrows out towards your temples, massaging little circles at your temples, and then tracing along your jawline. pressing towards your chin, doing that a few times from temple, jawline to chin. And then bringing your hands up to your sinuses and pressing from the top of your nose down the sides to the bottom of your nose, and then out along your cheekbones. And when you're ready, rolling over onto either side in the fetal position, using your arm as a pillow and using your other arm to wrap yourself in an embrace. Taking a moment of pause to notice the fresh start that you've created for yourself, an opportunity to begin again. Gently pressing yourself up into a seated position, crossing your legs and grounding down through both sits bones. Your spine is long, one hand at your heart, one hand at your belly. Feeling the rhythm of your heart and breath. And feeling what it is to be alive. Feeling what it is to be you. Sending gratitude to yourself for this 45 minutes of self-care. Bringing your hands to prayer pose at heart center, opening your eyes and lifting your gaze. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me. Jai Bhagwan, victory to spirit.